The objective, I think, of the program in my mindset is that through this program, it really showed how families, people who don't know each other can come together, can reason together, and work out their own ills.
I am an attorney in D.C. I represent both adults and juveniles charged with crime. I've been doing this kind of work for about 30 years. I find that my clients respond positively to the process, having the ability to be heard at the table, to discuss sort of what their version of what happened, how they were feeling about it. Restorative justice gives them an opportunity to sort of open up and talk about things on a wider scale. So it's good for them, I think.
When the families came together, we were seated in a circle, which I thought was really, really good because it gave everyone a chance to just kind of open up and to face one another and to really deal with the issue at hand.
Help them. Sit down, talk to them. Let's talk it out. Let's see how we can get through this. Let's see how we can change our attitude and help each other so that we won't run into this kind of situation again.
A lot of these kids talk about coming into the system in a very passive way. They never talk about it like, I did this, but rather, I caught a charge. The way you or I might talk about catching a cold. It's sort of this random thing that happens to them. And I get why they talk about it that way. I think a lot of them grow up in neighborhoods where there is so much crime going on. It's just something they see all the time, every day. And it's just sort of random who gets caught that day. Everybody's doing it, and I just happen to catch it this day. But having them sit down and speak with a victim, hearing from a victim firsthand about how that victim went through the process, or what it meant to them to be robbed, to have property taken from them, to be physically assaulted. All of a sudden, the client can't help but feel some empathy, some responsibility for what they did. And I think that's just so important. And for them to see the victim willing to come in, sit down, and speak across the table to them, they're like, okay, this isn't just some nameless, faceless dude. This is Mr. Harris, who's going to come talk to me about this, who's taking the time to talk to me about it. I have yet to have a client who has come out of this process and complained about it.
Also, it would give my son an opportunity to apologize for what he had done, and also kind of feel that regret, feel the regret for what he did, and to kind of talk about it and discuss why it happened in ways that it could have been avoided.
Felt pain. She felt pain, and I could see that the respondent knew that she did wrong. I could see that she felt bad for what she did. And hearing the victim, it was probably like, oh damn, like, did I really do this? And I feel horrible that I did this.
And I feel like it was an excellent opportunity for him to really pull himself together, to recognize what he did and to pull himself together. And he's still in the program, and since he's been in the program, he has shown tremendous maturity and improvement in school, in his relationships with family and friends. He knows what he did was wrong. He knows he doesn't want to go back down that road with the court system.
And I participated in it. That was great. That situation happened, we restored it with the circle. And I really do think that circle did work, because that respondent has calmed down. That respondent isn't taking criticism and negative verbal praise and stuff like that. That respondent isn't taking it the way they was before. You know? And that's for me working with the respondent after the circle.
So I was a bit skeptical because I wasn't sure that victims truly would want to participate in this program or in restorative justice because they have to basically face the person who committed the offense. I felt like it was also an easy way out for offenders as well. But what I've learned in my experience is that, one, for offenders, it is not an easy way out because they do have to face this person who they've committed this harm against. It's not an easy thing to do, to admit that you're wrong. Well, to have power in a case for a victim is extremely important in my experience, because the offense started with them not having power and not having control. And then after the offense, they may still feel like they don't have that power and control. So restorative justice is a way for them to regain that power and that sense of control that they lost, which they can take with them moving forward.
But I was just glad that you decided to have that circle, because that at that point it was an opportunity for her to express how she felt. Now, I know how she felt when she came home, and we talked about it just that one time. But when we had the meeting, when I heard all of the things that she said, I was like, and I was shocked, because that was the very first time that she's actually opened up and actually said how she felt. And I was proud of both of them, because they both were receptive, they both understood, and then they both were even compassionate with each other.
I have found that there are many victims who are interested in participating in restorative justice. There are victims who say, before we even discuss restorative justice, they're like, is there an alternative to the traditional justice system? Not only are they seeking it, but even ones who may not have been familiar with it, and even those who participate in restorative justice and then they enter it skeptical, they leave out many times with a resolution that they are happy with.
My clients tend to get arrested in sort of two very different scenarios. One is when the victim is a stranger to them. The other, and unfortunately a large portion of the cases, involve the victim being someone they actually come into contact with on a regular basis. And part of that is just poor decision-making, poor coping skills on the part of the respondent, my client. They tend just not to know how to talk their way out of a problem, and they instinctively resort to use of force or something like that. It's always gratifying as part of the restorative justice program to see my client be able to repair a relationship with someone who they're going to be seeing on a consistent basis.
Yes, and at the end of the conference, we came in together, and there was a little anxiety, and but by the time we finished, when the conference was over, everyone was happy. It was like everyone felt confident that my son wouldn't do anything like that. They felt safe. Our kids still go to the same school. As a matter of fact, my son and the victim, they're friends now.
I'm Jason Dixon with Metro Transit Police, and I've been with the Transit Police for about 10 years, going on 11. At that point, I knew he was in a world of trouble, because the charges that I was going to bring to the table, assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, these were big charges. This kid was going to go through the system, talk to his lawyer, see the judge, get whatever he gets, he goes out the door, now he has a record, and he does it all over again. And to me, 10 years in this system dealing with juveniles, that doesn't work. You have these cases of kids, if you could reach them early and let them talk to the victim, let them see the real damage they did, and then give them an opportunity to try to fix it. I needed this young man to look me in the eye, tell me why he did what he did, tell me if he was truly sorry. really blew my mind. I'm like, this is the young man that put me in the hospital. And here we are conversating, talking, laughing. And, you know, I could bring him to my house, introduce him to my family, and wouldn't have a problem taking him to a cookout or something. And vice versa, you know. And like I said, the regular way of doing things, you wouldn't have this result. You would have a bitter juvenile put through the system, still not understanding what he or she did wrong, and then probably going to repeat what they did because now they have a chip on their shoulder. This program is to me it's long overdue. It's something that has been needed for these kids for a long time.
There's a lot to be said for the adversarial process, but in terms of mending relationships, it's probably the worst way to work something out. Restorative justice, if it's handled properly, and if both parties buy into it, at the end of it, both parties walk out with the understanding that something bad happened, but amends have been made, and now we move forward. And this is a much better way when you're talking about preparing the community to receive